Before I get started, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
Do or do not. There is no try.
I apologize in advance if this video looks a little bit different and maybe sounds a little bit different also. I had a little bit of a technical difficulty with my camera this week. No better time for your equipment to malfunction than when you're on your way to 1K subs.
Why do these things always happen to me?
Anyway, growing up in the 90s, you'd be hard-pressed to find a video game that I was more obsessed with than Twisted Metal. I remember specifically when Twisted Metal Black came out, I was enamored with that game. It was a considerably more adult entry into the series, but I specifically remember that was the game that made me start to fantasize about what a Twisted Metal movie could look like. The way that that game gives each character their own twisted little background story, and how every character got their own unique ending depending on who you beat the game with, that was one of the first times I realized how important story is to a video game.
I like it a lot.
Now, as we all know, Hollywood isn't great at adapting video games into movies or television. They typically stray a little bit too far away from the source material, and it starts to feel like it doesn't really have a connection to the game at all sometimes. So then comes the news that broke today. Deadline is reporting that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier star and Clarence himself, Anthony Mackie, is set to star in and executive produce a Twisted Metal TV series for Sony Pictures.
Get the fuck out of here! No, I cannot, it's serious!
Mackie will play the lead role of John Doe in this half-hour TV series. It's being called an action comedy based on an all-original take from the writers of Deadpool, that being Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick. The story will focus on a motor-mouthed outsider who is offered a chance at a new life, but only if he can deliver a mysterious package across a post-apocalyptic wasteland. With the help of a trigger-happy thief, he'll face savage marauders, driving vehicles of destruction, and other major hazards on the open road. Hazards that include a deranged clown that drives an all-too-familiar ice cream truck. There's a lot to unpack here, but I have to say, as a huge fan of the character Sweet Tooth, I couldn't help but get a little excited by that last line. I hope they go all in on Sweet Tooth. I actually hope he's the Twisted Metal Black version of the character. He was kind of this hulking serial killer type in that game. As I said, he's a favorite of mine, so I'm really hoping that they do that character justice. As far as the post-apocalyptic setting goes, that makes a lot of sense as well. The early games actually did feature stages in modern, highly populated areas, but I think if Fury Road has shown us anything, it's that vehicular warfare is best suited for the lawless times after humanity has fallen.
That's bait.
I also have to say I hope Calypso is the guy giving John Doe the package to deliver, because he is the big bad of the video game franchise. As far as the Deadpool writers being the ones behind this, that makes a lot of sense as well. They do have a twisted sense of humor, no pun intended. And I believe that kind of humor could work for this property. My only concern would be if they go a little bit too comedic, because that is a problem in modern Hollywood where they lean on comedy a bit too much.
Had you ever heard of the healing power of laughter?
There is one aspect of this announcement that I'm not really high on, and that's Anthony Mackie's involvement. I think the big reason that a movie like Deadpool worked for people is that you had someone like Ryan Reynolds with a lot of charisma who kind of brought that script to life. And I've always kind of looked at Anthony Mackie as kind of a dull and boring actor. At least that's the characters he usually plays. He comes off like a bit of a charisma vacuum to me, and I just rarely find any of his performances all that entertaining.
What's the matter, dog? You embarrassed? This guy's a gangster? His real name's Clarence.
He could surprise me though, and if he does, I'll be sure to let you know. Plus, there is a little part of me who's a bit concerned about some unwanted messages entering this story. I didn't watch it, but apparently The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was very heavy-handed in its messages. Now, in Anthony Mackie's defense, he probably didn't have a lot to do with crafting that story, but based on the interviews that I've heard him have about it, it seems like he's kind of embraced the idea. So I just hope that that mentality doesn't leak over into this project. I don't know how they would do that for Twisted Metal, but they put them into pretty much anything now, so it's definitely a concern.
Message!
Twisted Metal is a fun, chaotic property that I think lends itself well to being adapted into a TV series. I just think it has a lot of potential, and it's something that I've actually been thinking about since I was a little kid. I just hope they can pull it off correctly. This is a property that's very near and dear to my heart, so I'll be keeping a close eye on where it goes from here. So let me know what you think about the prospect of a Twisted Metal TV series in the comments down below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shit. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Y'all be cool. Shut up.